Hello, and welcome to the number workout, the daily number workout number 14. We're on day 14 out of the 100. So here we go. Let's see how you did. So we're talking the number workout 14. The word form is 14. If you don't have that written down, you need to put that on there. Then we're going to talk about the factors. So we always start with 1 because 1 times any number is itself. So 1 times 14. And we ask ourselves, does 2 go into 14? And it sure does. 2 goes into 14 7 times. 2 times 7 is 14. Does 3 go into 14? Well, let's see. We count by threes, or we go back to our day 3 multiples. We'd see 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Whoops, we passed it up. So 3 doesn't go in. Does 4 go in? Well, we go 4, 8, 12, 16. Oops, we passed it up again. It doesn't go in. How about 5? Well, it doesn't end with a 5 or a 0. So that doesn't work. 6, 12, 18. Whoops, passed it right up. So that means we're done because we made it to 7. And so those are the factors. And right away, we can ask if it is even or odd. And since it ends in a 4, it is even. Because 2 goes into it. Any number 2 goes into or has a factor of 2 is even. Then we ask if it's prime. And prime numbers are numbers that only have 1 in itself as its factors. This one has more, so it is not prime. All right, let's go for the multiples of 14. And again, we can add or we can multiply to get that. So let's bring in my chart again. Get me a cleaner upper here. Uh-oh. Get me a new clipping board. All right. We always want to have scrap paper handy when we're doing our job. So always honor you and have everything ready to rock. All right. So we know 14. And now we need to do 14. 2 14s would be 14 plus 14, which equals 8 to 28. 3 14, so we add another 14 to that, equals 42. 4 14s, if we add another one to that, equals 56. 5 14s, if we add to that, equals 70. Whoops, 56, 70. All right, and you can keep adding on like that, which we've done before. I'm going to move my paper up so we can get to the next level. Or we can start multiplying so we can keep adding, which is what multiplying is. It's just a quicker way to do it. So let's do 14 times 6 is the next one. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2 is 8. So our next one would be 84. And then we want to do 14 times 7, or we could just keep adding them. Everyone does it differently. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry the 2. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 2 is 98. So let's write down 98. All right, and then we're going to do 14 times 8. This is good practice. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry the 3. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3 is 11. So it's 112 is 8 times 14. Then we do 14 times 9. 9 times 4 is 36. Carry the 3. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 3 is 12. So we have 9 times 14 is 126. And then last but not least is 10 times 14, which is 14 with a 0 on the end. That's all you need to know. When you're multiplying by 10, you just plop a 0 right after it, and we're good. So there's our multiples. We only go up to 10 times because otherwise we'd be here forever. So that's a good start. And let's move on to fractions, decimals, and percents. So we know that all of these are just a different form of each other, so they all equal each other. We always base it on 100 days of school, so we're talking 14 out of 100. Now, what's neat about this is we know 2 goes into 100. So I'm going to give an equal sign here. We're going to do an equivalent fraction. So if we divide the top number by 2 and we divide the bottom number by 2, we get an equivalent fraction. So we know 2 goes into 14 7 times, so the top number will be 7. And we know 2 goes into 150 times because 2 50s make 100. So 14 hundredths is the same or equivalent to 7 50ths. All right, let's do our equal sign. We always go back to our original because decimals are always counting on hundredths. So this would be 14 hundredths. And that percent would be 14%. And again, go in the store. If you're getting 14% off, you get 14 cents off of each dollar. All right, let's write it out. So this would be 14. Remember, don't erase, just goof it up. 14 hundredths with the good old TH because it's part. And this would be 0. And for the decimal, 14 hundredths. Looking good. So hopefully you have all that, and we'll keep that in view. So if you need to copy more, and let's move on to the next category, which is ratio. And remember, ratio is about research and statistics. It's just another form of a fraction. 14 colon 100, which the colon means 14 to 100. Or 14 out of 100 people. Oops, I'm sorry. 14 to 100. I like to mess up. So no big deal. I just keep writing. No worries. All right. Our dollars for this would be our dollar symbol, 0 and 14 cents. So that would be 0 and 14 cents. And again, even with numbers, even with money, we have the and for our decimal always. All right, let's go on to area. And remember, we're just drawing rectangles. Doesn't have to have equal parts. This just gets too crazy. So we're talking area equals width times length, and perimeter equals width plus length plus width plus length. So let's go ahead and do this one. We're going to draw a rectangle, and you can see I'm not making it 14 of these long. I'm going to write 14 here and a 1 there. So this rectangle would be area equals 14 times 1 equals 14 square units. And the perimeter would equal 14 plus 1 plus 14 plus 1, which equals 30 units. There you go. Now, if we were to stand it up, and I'm going to pretend I'm standing it up right here. Can you see it? Yeah. All right, so we have 1 by 14. And again, that would be, and I'm just going to write it out here, 1 times 14. As you can see, it's almost exactly the same. They just switch position of the numbers. And remember, Doesn't matter the order, that always gets the same answer, 14 square units. And then the perimeter, again, we're just switching up the numbers. 1 plus 14 plus 1 plus 14. Doesn't matter what order when you're adding, it always comes out the same. All right, let's go into volume. So I'm gonna move my paper up here. So now we're talking, it's 14 across. It's 1 deep and 1 tall. Do your best on drawing those rectangular prisms. And remember, volume is width times depth times height. So this would be volume equals 14 times 1 times 1, which equals 14 cubic units. All right, let's stand that baby up. And remember, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at these cubes here, except now we're standing them up. So I'm going to put them right here on the edge so you can see them, standing them up. So we're pretending I'm not drawing it as long as that because it would take up all my paper. So I'm just going to be realistic and just draw a rectangle and mark it. So this would be 1 by 1 by 14 tall. So this volume would be 1 times 1 times 1 times 14 equals 14 cubic units. And so another way to do it would be if we were to see it this way, which would be like if we were looking at it right from that end, so then it would look like this sort of kind of. So I'm just going to give you an idea here. It would be, that would be the front, and this would be the side, and this would be how tall it is. So it's a 1 by 14 by 1. So it's a little different combination there. So 1 by 14 by 1 equals 14 cubic units. All right, now we can go back up on the top of our page to see the other factor pairs, and that would be 2 times 7. So I'm going to rearrange my cubes here so you can see that. So let's draw that out. We're going to make it 7 across, 2 deep. We're going to make it 2 deep. All right. So we have a 7 by 2 by 1. So volume equals 7 times 2, which is 14, times 1 is 14 cubic units. Of course, we still have the same amount of units. We're just changing their structure. All right, so let's go on to the next one, which would be 2 tall by 1 deep, or I'm sorry, 7 across by 1 deep by 2 tall. So let me get that just the best as we can do. So this volume would equal 7 by 1 by 2, 14 cubic units. Okay, the other way is standing it up. So let's stand this baby up. And it will look like this. I'm just going to give you the download here. We're going to stand it up. It's going to be a 2 by 1 by 7. So we have a 7 by 2 by 1, a 7 by 1 by 2. Now we have a 2 by 7 by 1. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 by 1 by 7. See how I fixed that? No worries, no erasing. Don't get that eraser out. All right, so that equals 14 cubic units. So we started with 7. We started with 7 twice. We started with a 2. We could actually do a few more. So we could rearrange this. So let's talk about rearranging it this way. Make this the front. So that would look like, and I'm going to come over here so you can see it. So we're going to say this is a, so we're going to say it's a 2 by 7 by 1, which is what I try to write here. 2 times 7 times 1 equals 14 cubic units. Same thing. Another way to look at it is this angle. So I'm going to draw that one. Standing it up. It would be a 1 by 2 by 7. We haven't had that, have we? We've got 2 7s, we have 2 2s. Now we got a 1 by 2 by 7, and we would just write that and get that on there. 1 by 2 by 7 equals 14 cubic units. And then we're talking that 1 again. We want to just have 1. So this would be this way. And see if I can find a spot to put it. So it'd be like this, 2 here, 1 across, 7 by 2 tall. So it'd be a 1 by 7 by 2. So there's many ways we can look at this rectangular prism to get our answer. Lots of different ways. All right. Woo, that's a lot of volume looking. All right, so that's the end of our number 14 for today. So have fun with that and see how many ways you can do volume on all of our different numbers. Really go at it. Usually, if you can put a 2, you can do the 2 different ways. You know, each number that's in our equation can usually be done 2 different ways. So this one, 1 by 1. And this 14, we could do this 2 different ways, but since both of the numbers are the same, it's just the same. So that's why when we have numbers that are exactly the same, not as many ways to do that. But when you have 3 different numbers, we can really go crazy and make up 6 different ways of doing it. All right, that's it. Have a good day. See you on day number 15.